The NBA playoffs have really started to heat up. I'm looking at the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns going toe to toe in a monumental game by Nikola Jokic. Even though the Nuggets were not able to secure the victory, it was a phenomenal showing. If you like tight games, yesterday was the day to watch the NBA playoffs.
It was pins and needles. It was almost like gasping. I couldn't. I held my breath through 2 games the whole time. I held my breath the whole time, and I love. See, now that's why I watch basketball. I don't watch basketball for blowouts. I watch basketball for tight games. Those are the games I love the most.
Yes, let's talk about these Suns and the Nuggets. Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, can we just Nikola Jokic again, 53 points, 11 assists, and I don't even know when he scored the 53rd point. Like it was so peaceful, very unassuming. Like, can we just touch on that real quick?
Let me go ahead and give him his flowers. Like Nikola Jokic is really smooth at the game of basketball. When he shoots the 3 ball, it is in slow motion, and the game is moving. But for me, it seems like it's in slow motion. Like the game stops when he gets at the 3-point line. And do he even lift up?
No.
If he does, it's barely tippy toe
Mm-hmm.
lift up to shoot that ball. And every time he does it, more often than not, it is all net. What is going on? How in the world do he get all them rebounds? Where does he come from? It just doesn't make it doesn't. It's funny because that he's balling in the game, but to follow the points, it's like, when did he do all of that? How does he make that happen consistently?
Yeah,
he's a great player. He's just not a flashy player. So we get in, he does his job very well, whether we like it or not, whether we think he's MVP or not. He's very consistent, and then it's over. It's like, what?
Yes. I know. So this was one of those games where it really could have went either way. I think the Phoenix Suns, they could not risk going down 3-1, going back to Denver for game. They just couldn't do it. So they had to. And Devin Booker, he's been playing out of his mind lately. Is he human?
Devin Booker is the West Conference version of Jimmy Butler. That's just how I feel about it right now. Not in the fact that he doesn't take the regular season seriously. The fact that he just knows this playoff version of Devin Booker right now is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Wherever he is, whatever he does is gold. Like, bam. It's just, it is like, and I think that KD is, for me, it's not the focal point right now. I mean, I know he's garnered the reputation of being one of the great players, and I think he earns that. But in this series, and even in the one prior to, it's really more about Devin Booker. And I think what KD's presence on this roster means more for Devin Booker than I think it means for KD. Something about it is almost like highlighting Devin Booker's greatness, which sometimes has been overshadowed because of just the NBA community. I mean, just how they're marketed and how, I guess, the NBA utilizes their content for them. It just doesn't seem like it gives them enough shine. But whatever Devin Booker is putting up right now, for me, it is the best thing to watch. So when I think about what Jimmy Butler is doing with the Heat, it almost reminds me of what Devin Booker is doing with the Suns right now in the West. I love it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He's carrying the team, and he's doing it with this Mamba-like mentality.
Yes.
I mean, I've said it before. He's the closest thing to Kobe Bryant that we have in today's game. And yeah, look at him, 36 points, 12 assists. So it's not like he's putting on the Devin Booker show where it's, he's shooting all the shots. No, he's also sharing the basketball, which is key here. And I think other superstars around the league who are not currently in the playoffs, they should take a page out of this book, because 12 assists and still get his, that's
yeah. He is in his bag for sure right now. For sure. And then you add KD on top of that, it's nice. But I know that the determining factor of this game boils down to Shamet and his 19 points. What was he, 5 of 8 from 3? think it was
Yeah,
5 of
yeah.
18 too. Yeah.
Shaman was nice. You know what I noticed though? Monty Williams finally put some trust and faith in his bench because
Yes.
remember, shoot, I know I was one of the ones, and probably you too. Was like,
Yeah.
man, the Suns don't have a bench.
Yeah.
Well, check it out. Jacques Landau, Landry Shaman, even Terrence Ross came in, hit some crucial buckets. That's what they need because you to put all the pressure on KD and Booker and expect them to just win every game was just too much. I still think they're playing too many minutes. Look at KD, 44 minutes, and Devin Booker, 40 minutes. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad the Suns did tie the series, though. I think it is important that the series is tied going back into Denver. I will say this also. Landale, I like him. I like him. He is earning his position on the Suns. Or if not the Suns, a nice trade piece for somebody else's team. He doing it. I love his physicality, and he ain't afraid to. He's not. He is what I wish I can see out of Ayton right now.
Oh, goodness.
Right,
Yeah.
with Ayton's added skill.
Yes, Aiden is being outplayed by Jacques Landale right now. I don't even. Is it Landale? I'm sorry.
I don't mean it. Yeah, I think it's Landale.
Okay. Yes, DeAndre Ayton again. Come on. Did he respond to the criticism? Looking at minus 13 in the plus minus column, scored a little 8 points, 8 rebounds. How is that possible when you're on the court for 27 minutes?
No, he is not disrupting the game. Landale comes in and he disrupts the Nuggets game. Like, what is he's? I like it. Now, if he can add shooting to his repertoire, maybe he can work on that. Once all this is said and done, and be a little, extend his skill a little bit, he's gonna be nice. Because right now, what he's giving me on defense, I am like here for it. I love it. I love it. It is the spark that they need, and campaign starting, y'all.
Ooh,
I like it.
Chris Paul.
I'm almost saying Chris Paul probably needs to come off the bench.
Ooh, a Hall of Famer coming off the bench.
Yeah. If Steph Curry can do it, you can too.
Uh-oh.
And Steph Curry's a championship winner.
Oh, I know.
No, but I'm saying you don't mess up the stride. Don't do it. Campaign game 2, in both games, he's just what he's doing on that. I love it. What he's doing and his pace pushing. It's nice. It is exactly. It's just nice. It all. Another thing. So that's the Suns and all their praise. The Nuggets. When I tell you that defense looked so flustered yesterday, I was like, y'all got to get together. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see.
A lot of foul trouble on the Denver Nuggets. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., he had 5. Aaron Gordon the same. Oh, I'm telling you, Aaron Gordon was playing at an all-star level. He got a hold of this Phoenix Suns defense, and they kind of like been taking him out of his game.
Yes. Yeah, shook him up a little bit for sure. For sure, because he has not been right for the past 2 games since they've been in Phoenix.
Yes, but now we're going back to the elevation.
Yep.
And I know that's not a really good excuse at all, but this is a must-win game for the Denver Nuggets.
It's a must-win game. If the Denver Nuggets do not win this next matchup, I think it's a wrap for them.
Oh my God.
I'm holding off because I don't know, right? I'm glad the series is tied 2-2. I'm glad. Because I don't know if the Denver Nuggets do not capture a win in game 5, what that would look like for them.
It'll look like 3 losses in a row. That's what it would look like,
and that ain't a good look. And if you can't recover the next 2.
Right. So things are getting interesting, especially for a series that started out kind of like a dud, right?
Yeah,
the Nuggets were just completely outplaying the Phoenix Suns, and it was just like, well, okay, I guess this is going to be a sweep. This isn't going to look good for the Phoenix Suns, but they came back fighting, and now the series is tied, and I cannot wait to watch the next game.
Yeah, and also I noticed that Mike Malone looked shook. He looked not shook. He looked mad. This one time he called a timeout. He was shaking his head, saying curse words. I was like, "Ooh, yeah." And then I saw Nikola Jokic on the bench going off. I'm like, "Ooh, y'all, come on now, Nuggets. Y'all use your poised. Let's get that back. Let's get that back because the Suns got y'all looking real flustered right now." So I just can't wait for game 5 because that's going to be the tale of really perhaps the major change, major shift in this particular series. So we'll see.
Yes, but one last thing though, there's a little situation on the sidelines with Nikola Jokic and the owner of the Phoenix Suns, Matt Ishbia. Now, right after it happened, the announcers were talking about, oh, I wonder what the ramifications are going to be from this. Will Nikola Jokic be suspended for game 5? And I'm like, why are we even putting that in the atmosphere right now? No.
Yeah, when I rewatch the clip of it, I'm going, why was he holding the ball? Why was that guy holding the ball? Why was the owner holding the ball? Why was it? Why did he do that? It just seemed like I didn't like it.
Yeah, he was holding it because he could, and he was like, "It's my arena, it's my ball,"
That's true. My team. I want to make sure that they win.
Yeah, I didn't
but
like
I
it.
don't even know if Nikola Jokic even realized he pushed him. Did he even realize the man was up under his armpit?
Yeah, Nikola was just trying to get the ball so they could, get back into their
game.
set.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. I don't know. Well, if Nikola Jokic is suspended, oh my goodness. Well,
yeah, it'll be terrible. But shout out to Matt Ishbia. He provided a statement saying that Nikola should not be suspended. He does not want that, and he's looking forward to game 5. So I'm like, okay, maybe he has some kind of leverage with Adam Silver. I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't, because it will change the trajectory of this entire series if Nikola is suspended for the next game. Well, I'm just going to say, if the owner was able to do what he did and stay in the game, and a regular fan such as myself or you or anyone listening, if you guys held on to the basketball, you'd be out of the arena so quickly.
That is true. Ooh, hostile environment. That's exactly what that was. Poor Nuggets.
I know, right? So let's talk about the game prior, which was the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. Another nail biter. If you like tight games, overtime games, comeback games, this was it.
You know what? Okay, let's just start from the beginning. Jason Tatum, you got to be on at the top of the game, Jason. Enough is enough.
Yeah, he started out pretty flat. Yeah.
Is it important? Is it important, or is it important how he begins or how he finishes? Because they didn't finish because they lost in overtime. I don't know. The Boston Celtics I'm side-eyed with them right now.
Well, I mean, it really came. Well, it never comes down to one play.
No, it does not.
But had Jaylen Brown not left James Harden in the corner by himself to shoot that 3, we probably would be having a different conversation right now.
I don't know if that's it though, because James Harden knows how to shoot those types of 3-point balls. He could have shot over Jaylen Brown. I don't know if that would have been it.
He could have, but when you're wide open, when he's wide open, it's a greater possibility that he's gonna switch it, which he did.
Okay, I'll go back when did Marcus Smart miss his? When was it? Was it after James Harden?
Oh, that was when Jason Tatum gave him the ball. Yeah, it was already, the time had already expired, and Jason Tatum decided to give Marcus Smart the ball. He waited too late.
Come on, Jason. I'm like, and then wait, and that one went in. I don't even know why we even had to replay that. The red was clearly over the time clock. It was clear.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was a good game though. It was a good game. But James Harden, that's the James Harden. That one right there. That's the James Harden I need to see every time a playoff game is played. That's the one. Can he do that again?
I don't know, because he's starting to get a pattern of just like AD, play good. But see, here's the thing though. AD is 1 on, 1 off, 1 on, 1 off. James Harden is 1 on, 2 off, 1 on.
Right.
So I don't know what we're going to see for game 5. But I'm glad that series is tied too.
Me too. I love the fact that it's 2-2. Absolutely. Makes game 5 really critical. I love it. I think that's really, really great. And I'm back on this. Tobias Harris.
Oh, Tobias.
You know what? This is it. This is his last season with the Sixers.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah.
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 He just can't be invisible out there.
No.
He played 45 minutes. He played the whole game, essentially. 3 for 10 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3, 9 points. That's not gonna cut it. He's not. He can't be a PJ Tucker. You know you're not gonna get a whole bunch of points from PJ Tucker, but you're gonna get some serious defense. You're gonna get some leadership. Tobias Harris is kind of invisible, real quiet. Barely says a word out on the court, and he's making a ton of money.
Yep, you're right. You're right. He disappears. Absolutely. Wow. And I don't like that. Oh, what's up with Deandre Melton? What's going on?
Oh, yeah. 25 minutes on the court and got you a donut. How you like that? How you like me now?
It's just, well, they did it, though. The Sixers pulled it off. This game was really for Boston to lose. The Sixers, they did that.
But they played the Celtics played from behind all game, and it didn't even start getting really good until I said, "Oh shoot, Celtics making a run here! They're making a run." And then, when it went to OT, I said, "Well, it's anyone's game," and it came down to the final shot there. It's unfortunate to lose in that way. If you're gonna lose, you might as well go ahead and lose by 30 and not 1 point. It's just like
No, if you're gonna lose, make it a hard fought loss. I can say this is a hard fought loss, just 1 point. I'm okay with that. It hurts. I think it hurts a little more, of course, because it's a blowout. We was trashed the whole game. But not when you come back, because when the score got tied at 76, I said, "Oh, now we got a game." Took y'all long enough.
Yeah, they were asleep. They were asleep. I think they were homesick.
Right? Why doesn't Joe Mazzulla uses his timeouts?
I think he just wants to give the players an opportunity to figure it out on their own, but that's his job, right? That's the coach's job. You need to call a play. You need to get things settled down. If the players look confused, you need to call a timeout. That's when
he had 2 of them. 2. He didn't even use.
Yeah.
What?
Maybe he doesn't know what to say in the timeout.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, I don't know. It's too bad.
Yeah. Do you think Peyton Pritchard and Blake Griffin should be getting some runs here in playoffs?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Switch it up a little bit. Yeah. This is the time he could have done that. Even if it's for 10 minutes, just to kind of regroup. The other players. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and on the same accord, I mean, golly, Montrezl Harrell, Cork Moss, it's a lot of DNPs. And I know as the playoffs get going, a lot of times the rotations get real tight, maybe 8 deep, maybe 10. But golly, some of these players are capable in the playoffs, and they're not getting any time on the court.
You know what, though? Maybe not the Sixers to make that adjustment in this game because they were doing pretty well. They were up and, but because Boston had this lull at the top of the game, in the middle of the game, that would have been a nice time to put those other players in just to re-spark the offense. That's what they usually are there for. And then you bring back your superstars and your stars to come back in and then seal the deal. But you just can't. They need to know that you ain't even doing right. So go and sit down. You need a breather. You need to watch the game from the sideline a minute to see, because when you're in it, you may not be able to see what's going on. You need to step away and look, because that's usually one of the things they should be doing while they're sitting on the bench recovering. Let me just look at the game from this vantage point. And that would have been you put Pritchard in there, Blake Griffin in there, just for 10 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 possessions, and then put your boys back in the game. I think it would have been better.
Yes, I agree. That's a different, But Coach Mazzulla, Doc Rivers, you guys listening?
You guys hear us? Mazzulla, you can't call Ime? Y'all not cool? I mean, like, what? Is that a part of your clause? You can't reach out to him. What you do in this situation when he's not coaching right now? He will be next year. You can't call him, but can you call him now?
Yeah.
How you deal with these players? Win, because that's this conversation you should be having right now. How do you handle them win? Because I know you did it last season.
Yeah, or even call Brad on the sideline somewhere.
Brad really knows these guys. Yeah. He sure does. I'm telling Brad, get out the skybox. Come on down, Brad. Boston, y'all about to go home if you don't get it together.
I wouldn't go that far.
You don't think so?
No, because at the end of the day, the Celtics are the better team.
If they can't close it out, they're not.
Well, I should say they have the most talent. I think they have the most talent.
If they can't put that talent together, they don't have the best talent. It's talent, and what is it? It has to be more than just talent.
Yeah, desire and will and
Right. And they're not new to this.
mm-hmm.
They just did it. Just did this run last season. Not 2 seasons ago, last season.
Yeah, with a different leader though. They had Coach Udoka. Coach Udoka.
Oh my God.
Goodness. He would have it's hard to say what he would have done, but I'm willing to
What he
bet.
did do.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet the Celtics would not have these issues with closing games. If Coach Udoka was on the sideline.
I might have to agree with you on that one. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. What's going on today? So he gonna go up 3-1 tonight?
Nah, they can't.
He just gonna go up 3-1 and play the Knicks tonight, game 4.
In Miami. Oh my goodness. Well,
And the Lakers gonna go up 3-1 tonight on the Warriors
that ain't happening. That
in
is
LA.
not. I listened to Draymond Green's podcast after game 3. Well, first of all, not only was he upset with himself and the referees after game 3, he was very short at the post-game conference. Then he went on his podcast, I want to say this morning or late after game 3. And again, he was pretty short and he said that they will be better. He will be better. I think he even kind of has a different stance as it relates to continuing to play defense the way he's played it for the last 11 years. Seemed like somebody has gotten into his ear and said, hey, we need you on the court. So we need you to make better defensive decisions. You can't foul out. You can't get technicals. You're too crucial to the Warriors offense and what they are doing. Warriors offense and defense, right? Mm-hmm. So I think he's kind of had a change of heart. They cannot go down 3-1 to the Los Angeles Lakers. They just can't do it.
Okay. Prove it.
Well, I know.
Prove it.
Hey, Steph Curry. I'm starting to feel like maybe too much is on his shoulders and not enough people are in the trenches with him, because Andrew Wiggins has to give him more support, and Klay Thompson as well. Those are your guys. Jordan Poole. How many times do we have to call out Jordan Poole before he decides to have one of the Jordan Poole type games?
And if again, I'm gonna need the Warriors to do a couple of things in this next matchup. I need for y'all to make sure y'all layups go in. If you drive into the basket, the short layups, the 2 strong layups that y'all was doing in game 3 cannot happen in game 4. Can't happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there's a good likelihood because this is the game that AD is supposed to take off, right?
Use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Right. Because if the pattern proves itself to be true, this is the game.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. AD is gonna give you maybe 12.
Maybe 12. He won't be as dominant on defensive end. He might even be in foul trouble because so much was riding on the refs after the game. Everybody's talking about the way that the game was officiated. Well, the refs are going to respond, and now they're going to shift the tables. They're going to say, all right, we're going to give a bunch of fouls to the Lakers, and then Steph Curry and Klay and them, they're about to go wild.
And they should. There was a discrepancy.
Yes.
In how the game was called. Very clear. It was very clear. Yes. Yeah, it was very clear. So I agree. So then they're going to be swallowing their whistles.
Yeah, and Scott Foster is the lead referee tonight.
Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. He don't love nobody. He don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, well, tonight will determine if someone goes up 3 or the series is tied. That's what tonight is for both games. Wow.